Alright, motherfuckers, let's get down to business here.
Call me brother, you're doing fine. You find me old enough to decide, but I don't wanna waste any time by saying this is how we did it at my old school. What I witnessed from staring through green eyes was overwhelming fear that had once been in mine. Tell me again about it, who gave it in, so I understand. It's guys like me who bring the silver age with the glimmers and black hearts. Whoa. So that your family loves you, believe that your friends will all come back. And when they do, you have to find you screaming. Well, don't you lie, you're just like me. Your best friends are memories. Auto-save decided book. Suicide never looks so good, but in the end you were just like me, growing up so easily. Giving up is all it took. You're so goddamn loud, I fucking shook.
It's been so long. We just moved Patrick from outside in this one fucking cramped room. 3 dudes, giant ass L desk. This is my desk. It's my little cubby back there. That's my shotgun in case someone fucks with us. Because we're in Alabama. That's Tyler's little cubby. And then there's Patrick's little Reese hole. This is all of our game development books. We brought Tyler's and my collection. We like combined them all.
Combined forces.
The library of the goddamn ancients up in this bitch. This is all in the bathroom.
Yes.
It's fine.
Had to put it somewhere, man. Cool.
Alright, Reese Master. So, this is our Git lab. It basically just like manages Git for us. Like you can see all of our commits, like who's working, me. All these fucking commits, see basically all the source code and shit. So, we just set up an automated build server, Jenkins, which I fucking hate, but it works now.
The worst.
To basically like distributedly build all of our shit. So you can see this is ESTK for Linux. It's working. The aggregate just means the parent documentation. There's a
What's the colors mean? The clouds.
that's working. That's fucked up. Clouds just mean like recently it was fucked up. So this is working, but recently it wasn't.
It's
So
been
like
failing repeatedly.
documentation I disabled because there's a issue with Qt QDoc on CentOS. Not my fucking fault.
Yeah.
Mac OS X build works, but the aggregate still failed because the asset verification test didn't work. And what that is basically opening every single area and every single level in the entire game and running just basically the initialization scripts, like adding all the entities, adding all the behaviors, the startup Lua functionality, and if there's any interpreter errors, anything like that, then it shits itself and we can see, oh fuck, something's wrong with Lua.
Yeah.
So that's in assets, or someone like committed a fucked up level or something. ESTK integration test, that's basically where I'm testing my own functionality. Like when I add an area, does the toolkit add a fucking tab for that area? When I push that tab, does it swap areas? It's kind of like, it's not unit testing, but it's at a higher level because I can't fucking stand unit testing. It's actually useful. So like anytime I commit, like you can see, like did I fuck up ESTK? No. Did I like fuck up a wrapper and fuck up the verification test? No. Yeah. Documentation's being generated. There's some static analysis that's going on right now. Don't know why the fuck Windows is failing, but it is right now.
That's par for the course.
This is completely distributed. So when this is running on the Linux server in the bathroom, which we'll show you in a second. So when it builds, like it gets a commit or it gets a push, it hears it and then it shits out, like tells all the nodes to build. So that's my like $6,000 Mac Pro,
Yeah,
like
the trash
6
can.
core. That's the trash can. That handles the Mac build.
Yeah.
This piece of shit over here, the Think Centray back in the
This
corner.
terrible
Can you
Windows
see
computer,
it?
yeah.
It's a shitty ass Windows machine that handles all the Windows shit. This little fucker right here
Oh Jesus, I was gonna walk around.
is basically it's a BeagleBone. It's kind of like a Raspberry Pi, only cooler. It's an embedded platform that's running it's running Debian Linux right now, basically like the entire Linux distro. It's on the network. It's SSHable. It's booting from an SD card, and right now it can do the entire Linux build of ES without like taking up one of our nodes.
Yeah.
Because right now it's distributed to our work machines, which it can kind of
Yeah,
bog
but
down
that in
with
the
certain
Linux
shit
server's
like-
got enough going on with it anyway.
What I'm gonna do is this motherfucker. I took this fucking Dreamcast apart because what we're going to do is we're gonna have this motherfucker. I'm gonna set up the Dreamcast toolchain so it can cross compile for SH4 over here. We're gonna wire this bitch up to the Dreamcast, and it will be able to turn on the Dreamcast when there's a commit after it builds everything. If it builds, it can turn this motherfucker on over here. That's what this circuit will be. It will be able to turn it on,
Yeah.
send startup DC tool IP, send the executable over IP, listen over the console for if anything fucks up, like basically run unit tests on the Dreamcast automatically, report back to Jenkins build server, oh you fucked up the Dreamcast, turn the bitch off. It'll even say like, oh you used too much RAM or video RAM.
Now that is going to be important.
That we've been fucking with is the problem is I didn't realize how much I thought all I'd be able to do is just basically like come straight out to this power cable right here.
Oh God, no, yeah.
But because I can do 3.3 volts out on the GPIO pins here, but it turns out this cord right here is carrying the entire voltage, the same voltage as in the wall outlet, so this could kill you. So we have to get a relay switch that will allow 3.3 volts to drive this 120 volt AC. This is basically just shorting it together, which is turning on the Dreamcast. And like I was just basically fucking with the
Some LEDs going
the
on.
outputs.
Serious business.
So from my evil experimentation, so we can like hang shit off the Dreamcast and turn it on and off. It's actually easy to fuck with the Dreamcast because if you look at this right here breaks out once the 120 volt AC comes in here. It gets converted and all that shit. There's a pin for 3.3 volt DC, 5 volt DC, and 12 volt DC. So basically you can hang anything off that bitch and powers right the fuck up with the Dreamcast.
Yeah, you
so
can barely see those lights.
that's it. Yeah, I took out the Dreamcast LED, but yeah, so I'm driving some 3.3 LEDs.
Back to work, bitches. Yeah, I'm still working on because I.
Okay, go. I don't know what the fuck it did.
Anyway, so as I was saying, the head animation is currently independent of the rest of the body. Like it's a separate sprite that we're overlapping on top.
His golden locks are
Yeah.
blowing in the fucking breeze.
So what we can do is that whenever we want the breeze to be on, we can just toggle this animation on and blend it in with other actions. So like the thing that we can do, for example, is like when you're in caves and we can like make some indication of exit or any sort of like air movement. We can,
Oh,
like,
that's actually a good
they
fucking
can, like,
idea. You like
the dash. Like
Ooh.
you have
Yeah, or like for dash.
That's
So
a good fucking idea. I
It
didn't
can
think
start
about that.
like you can start slower, like have some
Environmental
slow
indication.
slow wave,
Yeah.
and then it can pick up. We can like just increase the speed of animation really easy. Yeah, I just need to toss it in a spine. But what I want is that I want to have more animations done before I just switch the spine anyway. Because
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
gonna
I
be a
gotcha.
giant pain in the ass here.
Yeah. It's gotta be like 8 or 9 in the goddamn morning.
I don't even know.
No sleep. Patrick
Yeah,
can chill with us. He's able to keep up. Oh shit, it's 11.
I mean
What he's
still
done.
missing
Oh
hands, man.
yeah.
Hands are easy to do. Like they're gonna be like I think 4 frames that I will, or maybe even 3 that I will interpolate.
Get them
Oh.
smooth ass legs.
Also make
I see a
another.
tiny bit of a jump, I think, in the last frame. Like, wait, hold on.
I mean, it's also remember that like I will make a lot of adjustments. Like right now he's like on the one axis, but as you run you wobble. So but that's gonna be obviously handled by spine. So it.
Yeah,
this is
yeah,
not
yeah,
here.
yeah, that's right.
This is just
that's
a
right.
quick preview for the animation.
Yeah, it's just, oh right.
Also,
right.
I
It's
will
just the
probably have to
sprite
change
itself.
his torso a little bit because right now, like, I wanted to make this light change between like him facing a little bit to the side, like when he's from. Come on, give me the camera.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah. So when he's like when he's I mean no like
Oh,
I think come on.
shit, my
sorry,
bad.
My bad. Jeez, I need to sleep.
I was like staring
Yeah.
at him. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so like the reason the torso wobbles a bit is because I wanted him to turn a bit as his his front leg goes behind, he will turn a bit like that because that's how you run. And as it goes forward, we're gonna shift it slowly forward. I don't want to do it too hard because again, we will be interpolating a lot of fucking other animations on top of it, and that's gonna mess up my future. So I want to make it slight effect. That's gonna be nicely looking, but at the moment I don't think it's nicely looking. Yeah. Right now it's like twitching.
He looks like a centipede.
Yeah. Like
Some kind of insect. Alright, what's up?
Okay, so basically the deal is that a lot of people were complaining that we had like way too low frame rate on our walk animation
Oh
in
my
the
god,
Kickstarter
everyone
video.
bitches about everything.
I mean, they had valid point because it was like only 6 frames.
Well,
you
at
know?
the same time, we don't have that much VRAM on a Dreamcast. It's also within hardware limit. Oh, here
shit.
you are.
But then again, we're going to move to like sprite animation, so technically the amount that our sprite sheet will
Oh no,
be
you're
very
right.
slow.
You're right because
Yeah.
it's like translations. It's
Yeah,
not
exactly.
raw sprites.
Yeah, exactly. I
But
mean,
but either way, dude, I wouldn't worry about it too much
Yeah,
because
I mean,
we
you
could
know,
just
yeah.
as easily like leave some frames out on
I mean,
Dreamcast.
for like the different animations, kind of like I'm gonna show you the setups. You know, the different parts of animations, like you know, the head will be the head will be by itself, hands will be by itself, and legs will be by itself. So we can have like different attacks as we walk or as we stand.
Right.
We can have we can hold items. So, but the legs themselves, I think I will have to make them as a spread animation and not as transform translate.
Right.
So that's what I've been doing right now, which is with those sketches. Because I cannot simply like copy our previous animation because that was 6 frames, I'm expanding to 8 frames, and 8 frames will be enough of the size that we have.
Okay.
So I was just like sketching out the animations, how it should be before I gonna commit to pixel art, so I can spot any dumb mistakes that I would come up with. Because it's been a while.
Fuck is that glove? Are you fucking Michael Jackson? over
Dude,
there?
this is like for my hand on the tablet, so it doesn't glue easily.
Oh, it does, and it doesn't
Because
register. the
nigga,
wrist.
it's so fucking hot here. My palms, I'm sweating like bitch, and
Welcome to Alabama.
yeah, and I don't want my hand to be constantly like it's hard to move. So that's why the glove. See, I'm thinking about everything. Made them myself. Like this shit, like you can buy this shit silk, but it costs like $30. And those are just normal like $1 bags. They're just cut and then with a lacing here.
All right, wait, what?
Like it looks like he's tap dancing. So what I did, I
He
took
looks
the-
like a fucking dumb.
what I did.
He looks like he's moonwalking.
He's fucking Michael Jackson. So what happens is that I have hands and legs animation separated, and I just play the running animation backwards while his hands are not animating. so he's fucking tap dancing now. Dude, we have to have river dance in the game.
Like in a dance club or something. Julian's breaking it down.
Dude, Amish dance club. Alright, back to work.
Alright, so we've kind of been talking about like how we want to approach like
There was, like,
tackling the
2 fucking hours. There was like 2 fucking hours of just each of us shouting at each other about like the design dungeon. We started actually writing off all the mechanics for the first dungeon, and then we sort of have a fucking epiphany about agile development.
Yeah, I'll put a ... 2 hours later. Some shit.
Yeah,
here.
which was basically starting with the bare minimums what we need for the dungeon, which is the entrance, the boss room, and then some like 2 keys for the boss room.
Right. So basically what we're gonna do is instead of mapping out an entire fucking dungeon and like doing all these levels before we complete the dungeon, we're gonna add the entrance and then whatever it takes to open the boss room or like finish the dungeon. Those are the 2 first things. So
Which are bare minimum.
and then we start filling in the gaps, but at any given point, 1, shit is fucking playable, 2, you can like, well, shit's
We'll see
fucking
how long
playable.
it takes, because we already gonna have like 2 encounters, like the first key encounter and the second key encounter. It can be either puzzles or battle.
Yeah, and
or-
we'll be able to have
yeah.
a feel for the levels before
Exactly.
we just, like on paper it might sound good, but if we actually do it this way, we'll be able to say, oh, actually we need another area here because this is this takes less time than we thought it would, and it's too fucking easy,
Exactly,
or like
so,
this
like,
is too complicated.
If it's gonna take like 30 minutes just to make like all the dungeon, then we can just plop like one room here or one room here, or start branching it out, like adding more maps in between because we have the fucking warps.
Yep. So yeah, you're gonna
that's
walk in a
gonna be-
fucking dungeon, like fucking
That's gonna
walk
be-
into the boss room and like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, like that way allows us to go back in and not even necessarily fluff, but fill everything in. Fill the
Flesh
blanks
everything
and
out and
stuff.
do it organically,
Feels.
like based on like gameplay, how it feels, not just like this is what we think will work on paper.
Yeah, so essentially we abandoned the idea of like pre-planning the entire game and meticulously like writing every single fucking point and an encounter in the puzzle, and we're gonna make it more as we go. Which just has another advantage that because we're gonna work sort of like on everything at the same time, everything gonna have the same level of polish and everything gonna have the same amount of care put into it.
That's
And
true. So the first
Yeah.
areas aren't gonna be shittier because we weren't as good at doing levels and things
Or
like
on
that.
the other hand, the first area aren't going to be like overdone in comparison to the other areas because we're gonna be working on everything at the same
Right.
And
time.
it won't
Right.
feel rushed towards the end. I mean, everything. Will
We're
be
also gonna
balanced.
do it with the overworld, for example. Like if we're dividing the overworld into like cities or something like that, like,
transitional area, main points to where it's like main city
Right.
one area in between the two main cities.
and then we'll flesh out like the exploration and like the traveling between cities based like organically what feels
We
right.
have like very simple pattern for entire biome, like city, intermediate area, dungeon, city, intermediate area, dungeon, city. Intermediate area because we need to intermediate between cities. So intermediate area, city.
Right. Of course there'll be subquests. That's the main plot. Yes.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's just like adding on top, like making more
Yep.
to the game.
Iteratively, because we're a fucking agile development shop up in this bitch.
Fuck yeah.
So yeah, this is what I've done for half my fucking day. Just like sat here on my ass waiting for fucking MinGW to compile on Windows Elysian Shadows. If there's any fan out there who works on MinGW, like if you fucking optimize that shit, we'll reward you with a large sum of money because this is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, okay,
Okay.
so let's see. So basically we're getting like sick as shit of like shit that doesn't load or areas that aren't fucking legit, not because of the toolkit crashing, because like assets aren't loading correctly or there's an error in the script. So like to go around that, we implemented like a new debug logger in the toolkit in the engine. So like
That's the debug logger?
this is it's our real-time console. So like it shows every single asset that's happening, like initializing libgyro,
Yeah.
opening the project, initializing OpenGL, loading level. So, or opening level, it loads the tile sheet. You can see, okay, if there's 512 tiles in there. Loading tile sheet.png, or that was the tile set. Failure, could not load texture. You see, oh shit, there's no texture. And for feedback, because half of these fucking levels don't work. Now when you open ESTK, initially the assets are all grayed out, meaning they haven't actually been opened. They've just been indexed. Like I've just parsed through them, been like, oh, here's an area, here's a level, there's zero validation. When I go to a good level, it's black. When I go to a level that's shit, it's red. Same, it's black and red up there too.
Wait, let me get a zoom on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So these are bad. It's like, you know, like, why the fuck isn't anything there? Well, your fucking level's messed up.
Yep.
These are good, so it's black. And then these haven't been validated because they're gray. I haven't tried to open them. I opened that one, it's actually shit. That one's good.
Yeah.
So that's what that's for.
Sweet.
And this debug thing, I know we showed it off before. It is a real-time Lua interpreter.
Mhm.
So for I equals 0, let's see, to 10, do print add the log I. And so that should print in a loop to a combat log, and it does. Combat log only shows 3 lines, and then you'll see like it slowly disappears and shit. That's where we're gonna post like quest info and stuff. I'm just demonstrating that's a real-time Lua interpreter.
Sweet. Okay.
So, in addition, I ain't done.
Fuck, dude, my hand hurts.
Basically, like, in addition to that, there's no real good Lua development environment. So while I've been developing ESTK, I've been trying to kind of turn it into like the Visual Studio of Lua. So like, basically you can do anything, view any variable, and modify any aspect of the entire engine at runtime through Lua, and I can show you. So like now when you select anything over here, it's actually parsing through the Lua table representation of everything. Like an area is wrapped to Lua because you have to be able to access it in Lua, and it's parsed in the toolkit as Lua properties.
So this selection view is just a real-time parsing through a Lua table, and when you modify this, it's the same thing as just table.name equals this.
Yeah.
And you can see, if you know Lua, _G is the global environment. That's the table holding every single global variable. So I can say estk.inspect table _G is global. Inspect table, this is every single global variable in the entire toolkit. So basically everything, because everything's under here at some point. Modifiable at runtime, you can see it at real time. You can change anything, any aspect of the toolkit in like real time.
Sweet.
And if you fuck anything up, there's debug traces, stack dumps, C Lua communication stack, local variable dumps, all that kind of shit there too. Oh yeah, and the debug log has filters because there's so much shit going on. You can filter, like if Tyler's doing Lua, he probably doesn't give a shit about the verbose output unless it's an error from the engine. So filter engine verbosity, turn it off. I'm not listening to engine output. You don't give a shit Lua, I'm not listening to it. Or if I'm working, I probably don't give a shit about random Lua debug statements. So I have verbose warning and errors disabled for Lua.
Sweet.
So yeah.
Is that all because I have shit to get done?
Do what?
I have shit to get done.
Oh, I fucking have shit to show off. Don't mind me, I'm just making a video over here.
Want me to handle the camera?
Alright, no, we're good.
Okay, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, so... Wow.
Ew. That big angry asshole.
Yeah, I will never get like tired of this here well of yours. Anyway, so this is like our spine test animation essentially. Like it's completely over the top because the enemy player sprite would be the size of his forefinger,
Right,
maybe half
this is
of
a
it.
big ass guy
Yeah.
with like
He's
a shitload of, what is that, bones?
yeah, like those are
Is
bones.
that what that component is?
Yeah, those are bones. So this is like a skeleton animation when I'm building a skeleton of the thing that I want to animate,
Yeah.
and I attach sprite assets to the bones themselves, and then I can move and then as I move the bone, I can animate it. So let's say I can grab this one, I can rotate it, and then the good thing about it is that it's like in this father-child component. So all those bones that are in his hand, like his palm and his fingers, are the child of the forearm bone. So when I'm moving this entire bone, they move too, and the
Right.
fingers are children of the palm.
Right.
So when I'm gonna rotate this one,
Transform
yeah.
parenting, yep.
Also like moving, yeah, that's like obvious, right? So we can, so it makes animation a lot faster and easier, and also it makes it modifiable by code. So Tyler can modify it with Lua, which
Originally, I'd written my own animation engine, and seriously, dude, it can do everything Spine can do, but the problem is, like, it doesn't fucking help anyone if setting up an animation is basically like 400 lines of Lua code.
Oh yeah.
So, like, instead of, I realized I would have to write an editor that would take about as long as writing the fucking toolkit to begin with, so we've opted to use Spine because ain't nobody got time.
Like here's you can see here are all of the all of the keyframes of animations for like all of the thing. It's like, I know, it's like 50, 100 keyframes. Can you imagine?
For fuck's sake.
And I didn't have to calculate the relative position, which Tyler had to do. Like he had to calculate the pixel position and the angles and stuff like that. I just dragged and dropped.
Dreamcast sure has to. You know what's funny? On their own website, where it says performance of Spine, they said the funny thing is performance usually doesn't matter, and they didn't say anything. And I've been looking at the Spine runtime, I'm like, damn, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So that's, putting this on the Dreamcast is gonna be fucking rape.
I mean, you made the demo, right? Like it was running on Dreamcast. I remember you running this one on the Dreamcast.
Yeah, but it wasn't through Spine, it was just whatever Tyler did with our old animation.
I remember this fucker.
He was on there, yeah, but it was Tyler using our old animation engine, yeah.
Oh shit.
Like all of these transforms, that's so many transforms to move this one piece. You'll have to transform the big guy, this guy, and then like transform the arm and then the fingers. That all has to be assembly optimized on the Dreamcast.
You know what we can do? Here's a funny Easter egg that we totally should have. Once he pops out, because like he's gonna pop out from the hole, that's why he doesn't have legs. He can like wiggle, 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 yeah.
Ew, that's cool shit.
Wiggle, like he can pop up, and actually like I'm thinking about making it more fluid, so he's gonna do like the wave motion.
Wow.
Yeah. That's gonna be cool.
Alright, I'm gonna go try to make a Spine component to connect to our entities in ESTK.
And I'm gonna make sure that you have something to test it with, so I'm gonna make export for you.
Cool. Alright, my first pass at porting the spine runtime to libgyro. I made a spine component. No. Wait till you see it.
Okay.
Wait till you fucking see it.
Alright, wait, I can actually like, move my ass over there. What you got?
This is your beautiful boss.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
I mean, at least it shows
I
some
think
speed.
I fucked up like the vertex batching.
I mean, at least there's something, so we know that something's being rendered.
Yeah. Time for round 2.
Yeah, dude. Wait, is it actually moving? Well.
Yeah, dude, it looks good as shit. It's a fucking lot of bosses on screen. It's a lot of 60 FPS too, bitches.
Like it's sort of translucent, so it makes it affect in a really weird way, and it kind of got refixed.
Okay, I'll look at it in just a sec. Alright. Alright. Recording. Alright, so check this shit out. Since, like, let's say we have a bunch of. Sorry, I haven't slept. We have a bunch of Patrick's little cock bezoars or whatever, like Sonic the Hedgehog people. So now you can select an entity. Multiple entities even. Cut. Paste. Bitches. Nice.
Aw, yeah.
Multi-select. Yeah. And fucking multi-cut paste. I'm just showing off now. Well. I don't know what this
Now
is.
make them all.
Can you animate them?
Fuck, I have to do them all. I need a. Yeah, I don't know how to do it. I need to write a function that will animate all of them at once. Jesus fucking Christ, dude.
That
That's a
would
lot of
be
fucking polygons.
Kind of useless though.
Hey!
Animating all of them at the same
We
time?
have like
What
a
do you
fucking
do?
army of people like marching in fucking sync. I think it's fucking bad.
Good morning, ladies. Everyone up? Whoa. How you liking your new job, Patrick?
They're making levels?
Yes.
Could be worse.
I wasn't expecting that. I was
I mean,
expecting
yeah,
I hate
honestly,
my fucking life.
Giant,
Okay.
giant floppy dong in the forest with balls. Kind of spiky, but
Oh,
whatever.
that's good. Dude, you're really good at making the
But yeah,
dense
Really good at
trees.
hiding cocks in the level.
yeah, this like making cocks is my primary skill for which I've been hired in Elysian Shadows in case of
That's why we
video.
flew him out from Poland. just
Yeah,
to make
my
dicks.
portfolio is essentially hundreds and hundreds of drawings of dongs, and that's what got me the job. But never mind. It's kind of silly because I found a new way of making the trees. Previously, like you can see, there are kind of like billboards.
Reested? Yeah.
I mean, they don't reach the, like if I would add
No,
that
that's what I expected the
Yeah.
game to look
Yeah.
like. You
If
just
I- yeah,
fucking
If I would make if I would add normal maps, they would be just as volumetric as that one.
Yeah.
But the problem happens is when I gonna have like when we have higher, like let's say fucking sun, you can see that there's still flat billboards, especially by the shadows. Like you
Yep.
shine the shadow, so that's not good enough. I made a new kind of tree,
Whoa.
which is tree with volume. It casts an appropriate shadow, it's still shadowed, it's still even self-shadowing, as in the sprite itself casts the shadow on itself.
Yeah, I have no idea how the
Yeah,
fuck you did that.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm only
yeah.
pleased that my engine can do that.
The trick is pretty retarded because I divided the tree into parts, which is here you go. Like one of them is the top, and one of them is the bottom.
Show them in 3D.
Yeah. If I'm gonna find myself, it's gonna like here. Yeah. So you can see it's. If I go really
Yeah,
low.
you can see he's giving it volume by
Yeah.
making the tops on a different
Yeah,
plane.
it's like a T-shaped. So
Yeah.
you know the bottom is standing like that and the top is like that, and by this bottom has a nice shape and this one has a nice shape. So it everything goes together. But frankly, I'm kind of sick of just working on this fucking forest St. Laurent for past year, and I wish I could jump into further other touches. Like here's actually me fixing the normal maps on one of the channels. But like I've got shit way further down the line. I've got fucking deserts, I got big ass fucking city with
Yep.
market, fucking dungeon and the mine, and another dungeon with volcanoes, and you know, dude, imagine animating this shit with like slowly moving those like parts of lava and glowing embers.
Yeah,
That'd be
it's
fucking
ready.
awesome.
Basically, the engine and the art got so far ahead of everything else because certain people weren't making fucking
Yeah,
levels.
so now I'm back here and I'm making the fucking levels.
So yeah, now Patrick has to make levels too.
Shit.
And
Anyway.
he's still getting more done.
Yeah, and I still need to make the norm maps as well. Like this is the like all of the channels, and I'm currently working on one of the channels for this like separate tree.
Right.
Oh yeah, welcome to the jungle, bitches.
Woo!
Fucking jungle.
Alright. What have we?
Lots of things. I've been working on.
First of fucking all, that's a thing. Controller.
Yes, this is a PlayStation 4 controller.
Woo!
Only reason why I'm using it is just because I wanted analog sticks and ABXY, something that's as close to get as a Dreamcast and everything else. So, there's a couple different UI elements that I've been working on. I think we've showed off some of the nameplate stuff before. There's nothing to damage you in here, so I can't really show that. But down here we actually have like a mapping for all 4 of the action buttons, and at least L1 and L2 up here.
Some PSO
an
shit.
actual money counter. I don't have some of the aesthetics, like I wanted that to be able to fade out, and this does fade out and whatnot, but I just have it all turned on right now.
Right, right.
But like actually pressing these buttons simulates button pressing. And what have you.
Wow.
That was going to be like interact with anything and then dash, you hit it and just kind of dash around.
Yeah, yeah. Damn.
L brings up the item wheel. You can actually go in here and select things. The purple borders are just like standard entries.
Yeah.
But anything with yellow around it's been marked as like a favorite. So you can mark things as favorites or remove them because it can get a little crazy. Like for example, when going in here, there's already like multiple pages of just these. And they're all fake items, but I did it so they're unique entries. I could test this. But like when I put that, go back, it's in there in your favorites.
Right.
And of course, it remembers that.
That's
R
fucking awesome.
actually toggles between 2 different pages you have there. I'm working on
PSO style.
popping up a little menu here to like tell the players like press X to select, B or go back and things like that.
Yeah.
And then when you go to select something, depending upon whether it's item, spell, ability, if it is allowed to be put down there. Like these 2 are locked, so you can't replace them. But I was going to pop up a menu like it's use, consume, or assign, and like assign, and then hit X, and it's like actually moves it there. And then hitting X will use that ability.
Right.
And then up here, like I said, I have a little money counter. Basically just tied up a couple test functions just to make sure. I grayed out and pre-pended like zeros for at least 6 digits with everything.
Yeah.
It actually counts up, counts down, and all that's using the exact same object that this is for like shops. Like they'll have that, and like we have ours. You can add items, remove items. Check to make sure you have enough money to buy something, and it automatically removes it all.
Right.
It's pretty slick.
It's bad as fuck.
So, it actually feels pretty good, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
La 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 la. Let's see. Whoops!
Deleted the main character. Shit has reested. ES Toolkit just shit its pants and was forced to close after encountering a fatal exception. What's under the details? That's right, bitches. The entire debug log, including the stack trace at the bottom.
Oh yeah, and we even have a little feature here.
Submit bug report and check this
Send
out.
it right into GitLab. You can have a title, label, so it's easier to find under which category it has to do with, description, steps to reproduce, and attachments.
You can attach like your crash log, attach screenshots, shit like that.
So, no fucking shitty bug reports, so we don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh, the engine crashed, the engine crashed. Maybe if you weren't a fucking idiot, it wouldn't crash. So I've been going back and making stuff way more robust than I should ever have to do. You have a project open, you try to open it again, and let's, I don't know, let's browse. This is my project, open. No, you don't, there's already one open, dick face. Now, dude.
This is what I like to call hardware accelerated release right here. Right here. Oh my god. Something with the shadow engine, I'm pretty fucking sure. I'm batching vertices together. Every triangle strip is batched together based on uniform change. I'm pretty sure, based on the fact that it's only caused by shadows, I'm not clearing out the vertex batch that's being rendered from the shadow pass when I change back to the light pass. So I'm pretty sure that Reest was
you're seeing the tiles from the light's perspective when I was rendering for the shadow pass. But basically it's a feature that you see with the lights see.
That's
This motherfucker.
yeah. Problems all the way. So the problem that we have currently is that no matter what I do with in this with normal maps and 3D space, I cannot escape the simple fact that we have here a straight face, which is rocks are standing up and the grass should be down.
What he's done, show him the normal maps.
Okay.
Like for here,
The
where
Photoshop?
this is actually, yeah.
Okay, that's it.
Our tiles are 32 by 32, so that cliff is actually like this. Well, for the parts that are like half over a tile like this, you can see it's not shaded uniformly. He's trying to compensate for the fact that it's a sharp ass edge for the parts that are actually like hanging over and aren't supposed to look that sharp. He's trying to compensate in the normal map, and usually that fucking works.
But in extreme cases, when we have like entire tile of difference in terms of depth,
Show him with the directional light.
sure.
So what it does is it compensates for fucking direction, because that's what a normal map is. You can compensate.
So leave this one as directional right now.
Yeah, just hit 0.
Okay.
And oh no,
No,
fuck! I mean,
fuck,
like change it
yeah.
to 0.
Yeah. Light source.
Hit 0. Type.
First direction though. Was it
fucking
Square root of 2
hockey.
is 1.142.
1.1?
Because I just calculated that in my head, and we totally did not just look that fucking number
Was
up.
it 0.4, not 1?
1.142.
All right. And this would be negative.
Yes. 1412. My bad. Yeah, I know.
I don't think we need that many.
Yeah, goddamn it, we do.
Oh god.
The more precise it is, the more your shit will look good.
Negative. And change the type to 0.
To 0.
Yep.
Yes. Now, this is a directional light, which does not take position into account. And if it's just direction, then his compensation completely should fucking work.
Which is basically.
Yeah, so you can see it looks completely like the ridge
Yeah.
is correct there. But if you change it back now to a positional light, you don't have to fuck with direction.
Yeah.
Because positional doesn't take that into account.
So,
Since you can see now, you can tell that it's an abrupt edge.
let me
Because the light is attenuated based on the distance between the pixel in world space and the light's position.
here's like the biggest problem that we have.
Yeah,
Between
and no
this
amount
position.
of normal map fuckery is gonna fix that. So this audacious sack of shit just asks for displacement mapping in a 2D game.
Yeah, why not? Might as well.
Yeah. Jesus
To be fair, it won't be that big of a problem for me because my bad. I misunderstood how the normal maps were working.
Oh,
and
dude, I never would have
yeah,
known that
and
ever.
and I took that blue channel because like I try to visualize like the way normal maps are looking is that you have a flat surface here. Let's say this flat.
Flat surface.
I mean, for fuck's sake, okay, have flat surface, and red channel is tilting to the sides. Then green channel is tilting front and backwards, and then blue channel is just sort of there. And I was like, I didn't understood what to do. So I thought that it was offset, and
Red
that
is
was-
left and right, green is up and down, and blue is forward and back. None of that's positional though, so displacement mapping will fix that. The only reason I'm willing to fucking do this is because in the shader we are sampling texture map, normal map, and specular map already. And specularity is only grayscale, so we technically have 3 channels unused in the specular map. So we can combine the displacement map with the specular map, and we're not really sampling anything extra in the shaders. There's not really that much overhead to do that.
exactly.
You are so fucking lucky, dude. If it wasn't for those 3 extra channels, we'd be fucked.
Viva la RGB encoding. Well. Alright, so ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Oh fuck yeah. Okay, so the other issue that we had that I noticed while we were working on the normal maps and stuff like that.
So many goddamn issues.
Well, welcome to game development. Is that the clips that I currently have, they cast square shadow. Which, in case you haven't noticed, the cliffs aren't exactly square, they're made of different rocks.
Well.
Yeah. The problem was that they are on the same tile, So if I go into perspective, you can see that there is just straight edge there. There is
Right.
no geometry or anything to take the
Looks cool
shadows.
shit,
yeah,
though.
shadows though. Yeah, it looks cool shit and it's efficient, but it doesn't look good
Yeah.
with shadows.
Yeah.
So the problem, so my solution to this is to have two more layers with grass on separate and rocks on separate, and then we have like some proper fucking shadows, which are looking way better. And even so, like, yeah, I will need to modify it, but this is the test for now, and I will need to make multiple tests to see if I can make like more complicated geometry with the cliffs and still be able to do that, because you know,
Right.
lots of tiles, lots of levels. That's it.
So, as you can see here, this is the new shadow engine. It's quite an upgrade over the last one. You can see, I like to call this hardware accelerated restart. When you move this motherfucker, and I don't know what happens, but some magic happens, and everything pretty much restarts. It's not doing it now. What the fuck? My favorite.
You fixed it!
Yeah, it's done. Oh, I'm a genius. This is Julian in a big house. I'm just rendering like solidity on like when he jumps, he's not affected by any solids, like because there's no solids up in the air. It's showing what solids are relevant relative to his current Z coordinate, and why the fuck do they always disappear in perspective?
Yeah, that is this fool's mouse pad. We're too cheap for a
It's
mouse
pretty
pad.
smooth now, but you know, guys have needs.
Right. Yeah, we're looking for a sponsorship from Playboy or anything like that. If you could hook us up with a new mouse pad, I don't know, monthly or something, you have free advertising on Adventures in Game Development.
D2. So Jaquaik dungeons are basically places where you have like multiple exits, and you can like go into the same dungeon from different
We're
from
doing
different
one of the
spaces.
dungeons.
Fucking Mega Man Lady.
And generally the convergence
I'm not gonna
happens
tell you
somewhere
which
at
one.
the end at the boss room, but everywhere else, like you can approach, like let's say here is you
This is
have
gonna
like
be a
city
minecart
here.
for the boss.
You can have a city here, you have like some deeper area here.
You know how
and
in
you can just
Zelda
go
you can
here.
like instant transfer back and forth between the beginning of the
And then
dungeon
like
and
another
boss?
room
That's
some
what
here,
this
maybe like
would
some
be.
Why are you drinking so much?
Okay, fucking.
Stop drinking.
Woman. Creating a recursive populating Lua table model to be represented in a selection view, templated to handle any data type.
Get off my nuts.
Damn.
Component. So this was
Where's the component?
we added a skeleton component to our engine here. That's basically uses
What
the
the-
spine
what-
runtime expand right
Oh
here.
yeah, sure, I can see.
So then he just gives it the atlas file, which is the image, like the sprite sheet, and then the JSON file, which holds all the animation data and shit.
Yeah.
And then with the Lua prompt, you can see right here, singletons, get current area, find entity, get skeleton, set animation by name. Like in real time, he's able to like fuck with the animations just by scripting it through there.
This reminds me so much of Unity. Like the way you go about
I
it.
know. Imagine that.
Also, speaking, do you want to finish? What do you want to say?
Real quick, if you want to load and save this fucker, whatever you check is loaded and saved. That's because if you warp Julian and he's here, he doesn't, like, you don't fucking save Julian.
Yeah.
You know, if it's checked, that means it's actually loaded and saved with
Sweet.
it. And I believe spine component should, they won't all work right now. I'm working on it. Spine component looks like it does load and save correctly. And then, like I said, you can activate, deactivate him and shit like
That's
that.
pretty badass. So the reason that I really wanted to load this specific animation into the engine is that I was worried about the floating point inaccuracies that we could have. Because in Spine, even though,
floating points are accurate.
yeah, even though like in Spine you can see those all individual pixels, there's no way to position to position the sprites to those pixels. You just floats whatever. I think it's like on up to 3 places after decimal, which is like doesn't fucking make sense for pixel art. Makes sense for everything else. So my fear was that if I will start doing this sort of like tilting and translating those like very precise pixel art, and I was afraid that in our engine we can have something that we have in Photoshop when we do translation. So check this shit out. When I fuck with something in Photoshop, like
Jesus.
look at this.
Oh
like,
yeah, it's not gonna look that shitty.
I was afraid that we would have something like this, but
Jesus.
instead we have like this smooth and beautiful, and oh my god, I'm in love.
I hate it.
Jeez, that calls for celebration.
Woo! He's gonna do art now.
Oh yeah.
All right. So.
Okay. So the new stuff that we have is and that we want to implement is support of the spine colliders for our engine. So you can have multiple colliders per enemy or
Per entity, yeah. Right now the engine is collidable as a component on an entity. So if you want to have multiple hit regions, you basically have to emulate it with multiple entities.
Yeah, everything is one collider and they're all prefab like geometric shapes. You can't do anything crazy like
oh yeah,
that.
this shit is so easy.
New
like
bounding box.
Yeah, I'm just like adding bounding box to this thing, and I can pretty much trace.
Oh, you will never fucking make a bounding box like that.
Alright.
The more vertices you have, the more fucking inefficient that bounding box
Okay,
can be.
I'm gonna make it easier.
Look like a stop sign, dude.
Yeah, I think I broke it now. Jesus. Oh wait. I
So
need to delete
we
that.
decided we're gonna keep my old renderable component because it supports untextured and it's a lot more lightweight than Spine for things like GUI items, especially GUI elements. So we're gonna keep that, and we'll also keep my collidable for shit like bullets because this shit is gonna be way less efficient for that.
But yeah, we can have like multiple colliders, and like for example with this board, as he's charging, you can like. He won't gonna damage you with his ass, obviously. So you can hump his ass as much as you want, if that's what you want, and you won't gonna get damaged. But you touch his tasks, and you get fucked.
I mean, you
Yeah.
can even have him like that block, like say you throw something like it would hit that instead of going through and hitting his body and stuff.
Yeah.
Like just having two different like collidables like
Yeah,
that.
the other thing that we were thinking about is that you can actually like either try to lure him into hitting a wall or actually like smash his tasks with your weapon and you can break them off. So
Yeah,
he will
that'd
be
be so
like
cool.
almost no damage then.
Fucking cut him into pieces.
Yeah, yeah. Dude, get some lasso and like try to have some rodeo with it.
Ooh, I could make a
Apparently
function.
just riding-
I could make a
Yeah.
function so like basically. Oh, I know. What
You know, that reminds me of his Pokemon X and Y when you get to ride that, what was it, a snow swine or something like that around? Like,
Pillow
that was-
swine or whatever. Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah,
Like
it could be
that
right?
shit, like the tusks, the separate things are separate attachments. What I can do is I can make a function that will like create an entity dynamically with a traditional renderable component that is one of the attachments from Spine. So yeah, you could break that off and it will be able to take, okay, this attachment will become its own entity and like make it a rigid body so you could like break his fucking shit off and then go and like stab him with his own tusk.
Shatter,
You can, like-
shatter like what we did before too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Cut his
That should be easy. So yeah, we definitely want to keep the old
cut
components
his
'cause they're way
tucks,
less.
and he's like lying in pieces, they're twitching.
Dude, that'd be awesome. Yeah, we should definitely be able to
I mean
do that.
that's so easy. It's like it's separate
Fucking A.
components. You just
Yeah.
you just destruct
Might
it,
as
add
well.
some blood, and you have like particles of boar on the ground, like grinded
Hit him with a
boar.
fireball.
Oh, dude, turn it to food.
Yeah, dude, you
Throw
can
a
like
fireball and
barbecue.
shit.
Yeah,
Cook
Hit
it.
his ass.
grill this bitch.
You acquired grilled boar.
One thing cool was, like, since those
HP
tusks
fully
are separate,
restored.
Yeah.
We could remove the
If you're a
tusk and
Jew
scale
class,
down
you
so have,
can't
like,
eat
bunch of,
them.
like,
Oh yeah. You can have like little boars. Yeah. Yeah, we could all can.
Oh, that's a good dude. Someone needs to write down dynamically creating an entity from Spine attachment because I'm not gonna fucking remember. Like it just for the
That's an
future.
issue.
Maybe next week when I'm
Okay,
adding
so-
collidables.
So get back to work.
Okay,
Yeah,
alright,
get
fuck.
back to work.
Okay.
Isn't like what? Are we hitting 13th hour now?
Yeah, I don't even know. Patrick and I are still up all night, still working.
Over 24.
Tyler's not, so guess who's tired of Tyler's shit? We're just
Julian's not amused.
He is not amused. He hasn't even fucking slept.
Yeah, that's
The fuck are you doing?
I was just about to rage, but then I remembered I'm live, so I probably shouldn't be throwing a string of
Oh yeah, I
rage.
forgot to mention. So from now on, because people are bitching, we're not interactive enough. We're gonna be trading off like all week. Like each one of us is gonna stream live on Twitch like one day. Like I'll be Monday, I'll do like engine and toolkit development, low level shit, and then Patrick Tuesday doing like art and animation. Tyler Wednesday doing scripting and gameplay and stuff like that, and then Cole doing whatever the fuck he does. I'm just kidding. Music and level design and all that on Thursday. Yeah, and then hopefully adventures in game development and a big ass Kickstarter update every Friday. Well, every Friday through Sunday. I'm not gonna guarantee what fucking time of the night on Saturday we will get done.